Beast in Mode by the Elements of Hip Hop. And one of the people that makes up Elements of Hip Hop is Grand Wizard Rasheen. And we're talking to him right now. Good afternoon, or good night maybe. I don't know. What time is it in America right now?
No, it's in the afternoon.
Okay, well,
Right
good afternoon
like
to you.
Like 1:30.
Oh, nice. So you got a whole day ahead of you.
Yes.
Grand Wizard Rasheen, I don't even know where to start. Well, obviously, I'm going to start in Philadelphia. But
Right.
back in the day, you were not just a DJ or an MC. You were also breakdancing. Were you also into graffiti? Were you all 5 hip-hop pillars into one?
Yeah, I was basically all 5. Also, I was a tailor too, because I used to make our outfits that we danced in. I was a dancer too. So, you know, we did a thing called stepping in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little before breakdancing came out, you know, but it has the same elements of breakdancing.
Wow.
You know, it has, you know, like that Gene Kelly and Ginger Rogers, Fred Astaire tap dancing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, the flipping and break dancing, the gymnastics. So, you know, and my group was like one of the best in Philly at that time. And then while I was doing that, you know, I was learning how to mix too. So,
and you did so very well.
Yeah, thank you.
Because, you know, taking it back into the day, because this was even before DJ Cash Money and Marvelous.
Right.
Because Cash Money is one of your proteges.
Dance with me.
They used to dance with you.
My dance group.
Wow.
He was like one of the ones. Another group was called Franchise Dancers, and we always had like a little boy, you know, to come out and dance for the girls, you know, to hype them up. And Cash was that little boy at the time before he grew up. So we'd always have Cash dance for us. Then, you know, one day, you know, he just came over and asked me, because I had a radio station too. I had my radio station.
So you were a radio DJ as well?
Yes, I had my own little Southwest Philly. I had this is a bootleg station, but you know, what I mean, I had some watts, and you know, I was like the first one to play hip hop in Southwest Philly.
Because how many hip hop was there back in the day when you started out in Philadelphia?
How many? It wasn't.
How much hip hop was there around?
It wasn't really that. I mean, it was more on tapes. We basically got all our hip hop off of tapes, like, you know, Grandmaster Flash, stuff from people, you know, from New York. Used to do parties, and you know, and the tape would end up in Philly, and you know, then we'd play it. And I used to play those tapes on my radio show. That's how, you know, Philly basically got hip hop, and me playing it on my radio show. With breakbeats.
Yeah, because that's when it, you know, really started to explode in Philadelphia. Rappers and dancers from New York were starting to come to Philly because, you know, they felt that the vibe was also in Philadelphia. Maybe that is why Philadelphia nowadays is one of the main hip-hop capitals of the world.
Right. That's true. That's definitely true.
So what was it like when, you know, New York started to enter Philadelphia game? Did it explode? Was there a lot of talent or... Well,
since New York was in it first, you know what I mean? Philly slowly got into it, and I mean, it was nice, you know, because we used to have like New York and Philly battles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they used to come down and they rappers battle our rappers and dancers and so on and so on. And the DJs, you know what I mean? So it was nice. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't never no violence or nothing like that. You know, never like that California, New York type of stuff.
Nah.
East Coast, West Coast, nothing like that. It was always good.
Yeah, because, you know, that was, you know, still the true hip hop of peace, love, and unity. So whether you were from New York or Philly, it didn't matter.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
And you started talking about battles, you know, New York against Philadelphia battles, but you also created, of course, the DJ battle style.
Yeah, yes. When I was at the radio station that I had called WSMP, Southwest Philly, when I first got my first turntables was black BSRs.
Yeah.
My mom bought them for me, and I had a dresser in my room, and the dresser was kind of small. And, when I first got my tables, I couldn't fit them the right way because they were too long. They would hang off the edge.
Yeah.
So what I did, I turned them sideways and put my mixer in the middle, and it fitted perfectly. And then I just started mixing and doing tricks like that. That's how that came about.
So it was actually a necessity.
Yes. That's how it came about.
Cool.
So I wasn't thinking about doing it. Just I had to do it.
Yeah. But that, set the scene for, eons to come because everyone uses that setup now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, that's good. And what I found out is that, for me dancing too, what I did, I added my dance tricks to my DJ tricks.
To your DJing, yeah.
And plus I rap too. So I did all three of them at the same time. And, when I did a show, it just kind of blew people out. So what it is, everybody wanted to learn how to, do what I was doing. Mm-hmm. It's another secret that people don't know. Will Smith was in my group too.
Yeah, I can imagine because not only Cash Money was one of your proteges, DJ Jazzy Jeff was one of your proteges as well.
Yes.
How did you meet those guys?
Oh, Cash.
Cash, of course, was a dancer in your crew.
So what it was after dance practice. One day he was like, "Rasheen, can you teach me how to do that scratching stuff that you're doing?" And I was like, "All right, yeah." So I started teaching him every night, after dance rehearsal. So for like a couple years, I taught him, and then once he got it good, he used to ride his bike from my house to go to Jazzy Jeff's house, right? Because Jeff didn't live too far away. So he wanted to show, off the tricks that I showed him. Yeah. So he'd go with Jeff, because Jeff had 1200s at the time.
Ooh.
And, 12 just came out. He wanted to show Jeff. So he used to go with Jeff's house to show Jeff, the tricks that I would show him. And then they hooked up a routine that me and Cash did called the Twins Spin. I made that routine up for me and Cash to do our shows. So Cash showed Jazzy Jeff, and now when it first came out, I don't know if y'all ever heard of it, but it was called the Twins Spin. Yeah. And, so they went out doing shows with the Twins and Spins while I basically stayed on the radio station, doing my hip-hop shows. Mm-hmm. And, like I said, I basically showed them, like, everything. I showed them how to stand. I showed them how to bring the beats in. I showed them what breaks was, how to beat count. I showed him everything about that I thought, that was important about DJing. Yeah,
all the things that he needed to know. And, judging by the success that Cash Money and Marvelous had, as well as DJ Jazzy Jeff and Will Smith, then you taught him right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, not only did you invent, the way to put your turntables to have the most effect and, out of necessity, but still, you also invented a lot of different cuts.
Yeah, what it was is that as far as like the naming of the different cuts, I was never a guy that would name my cuts because I had so many. I'm the type of person, I'll make it up right there. I'm not going to. Most people will practice that cut for like a month or two. Me, I just get on turntables and whatever comes to my mind at that time.
You just did it.
Doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't try to recall that cut. That was Cash and Jeff used to do that. They named basically all my cuts.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? They put names on them. So I don't know. I'm like, I know what cut you do, but I didn't give it that name. You gave it that name, and you know what I mean? And made it popular, made the name popular.
Yeah. But
it's my cut, but you know what I'm saying? It's the name is yours, I guess. So yeah, that's what like so the Transformers. Let's see, vibrators, beat jugglers, different stuff like that. I wouldn't call them that. I really wouldn't call them nothing. I was just doing it.
You were just doing them, and they named them. Well, anyway, we're very happy that they came to pass, because otherwise the cuts wouldn't exist. Let's put history aside, because I have a feeling we can talk for a few hours about these kind of subjects. Right now, you are caught up in elements of hip hop.
Yes.
What is that like? What's happening nowadays with Grand Wizard Rasheen?
Well, that song, first of all, that song that you heard called Beastin', I made the beat up for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still doing production, and Mike's, got the new album coming out pretty soon.
Yep.
And me and Merc, we're doing parties and trying to do tours. We're basically trying to get as much business as I can, you know what I'm saying? So, just to get my name out there, because what it is that a lot of people really don't know who I am.
And that's a shame.
That's because it's a lot of people that do know who I am, and they're kind of afraid of me coming out. They think that if I come out...
Yeah. You still there? Okay. I think we just lost Grand Wizard Rasheen. We'll call him back. Dat hoeft helemaal niet meer in het Nederlands natuurlijk, hè? Of in het Engels. Ja, we hoorden inderdaad het piepje. De verbinding is verbroken. Wij gaan zo nog eventjes terugbellen met Grand Wizard Rasheen om eventjes het gesprek af te maken achter de schermen. Helaas dat het op deze manier is geëindigd. We wilden hem inderdaad nog eventjes gaan vragen wat er in de toekomst allemaal nog gaat gebeuren met Elements of Hip Hop. Wat er in ieder geval gaat gebeuren in de zeer nabije toekomst bij Elements of Hip Hop voor Grand Wizard Rasheen, DJ Mercury en Mikey D, is dat we hem hier gaan draaien in Hiphop Highschool. Hip Hop ain't the same.
Hip-hop ain't the same, the rules done change. Got these fools blowing up that ain't true to the game. I'm 100% official, no preservatives.